Hello, I'm Ximena Reyes. I come from a long part in the world, across the Atlantic. I was born in Bogota, Colombia. Colombia is a very nice country, coffee, beach, football. We have met the Romanian team sometimes. But when I was growing up in Colombia, there was a lot of violence in the country. And violence sometimes touches your life in ways that you cannot imagine. So, for example, when we were playing with my friends, we were playing kidnappers. So if you were coming to play at my home, since I was the host, I get to be the kidnapper. So I will tie you, and the mouth also, and then I will go and do my homework. And then after 2 hours, when it was time for you to go home, I would just untie you. And yeah, kidnapping was so common that sometimes the teacher was passing the list. Rodriguez, absent. What happened? Kidnap. Oh, okay. Perez. And not even going to the street was safe because you wouldn't know what happened. Many times you, the nanny, and the bike will get kidnapped. It was a time that people didn't know if they were coming back home after they were leaving in the morning to work. And I remember my dad one day told me, you know what, this is not okay. He said, he showed me the newspaper and he asked me, count how many people have died. And I counted them. And it was about 80 people since the last day. So my parents decided to move, to leave everything we knew. And we moved to a bordering country, Ecuador. Ecuador is a very peaceful country, very nice. It has the Galapagos Islands. It has many beautiful things. And even it was the same language, Spanish, I had a tough first year. Everything was done differently. People behaved in a different way, and I couldn't understand. It was very difficult to fit. That was my first cultural shock. But after a while, I adapt. And when I was around 12 years old, I don't know, it came to me, and I said, I know, I want to be a journalist. Yep. And I even decided to open a newspaper in the school, El Risco, with 3 other friends, and we did it. We were printing ourselves, we were doing everything. Later on, I graduated, and my parents, as a gift, suggested that we will come to Europe. So we came on a trip. We started in Frankfurt. We bought a car there, and then we were starting driving around. And somehow, we came to the border of Romania, more than 20 years ago. I remember as I was coming to Romania, I just remembered the sunflowers. This was like a poem to my eyes, fields and fields of sunflowers. I can even remember when we were going to Constanza, and I had the window open, and I could smell the grapes of Mufadlar. And you know, it was a poem. But okay, the trip was finished after 1 month, and we had to go back home. I went back to Ecuador, and I applied to a job in a newspaper. I had no experience, but I really had a will. And they told me, yes, but you will have to be 1 month here, and we will see if we like you or not. And after 1 month, they hired me. So this was amazing. I had the job of my life. I'm 19 years old. I was working from 8:30 to 4, and then I was studying at university from 4:30 to 9. And I had a lot of energy, and I felt very happy. But I don't know, something was missing, and I started thinking, I need more. And I realized that I needed to study more. I needed to invest more on me. This meant to leave my job, the job that many people was fighting for. I said, no, it will come. So I decided to move, and I moved to Chile. Another country in South America, also with Spanish. Chile is a very beautiful country. I get to study there for 3 years. And I was in the University for Journalism. And still, even the same language, different behavior, different ways to make the hot dog, different ways to make the soup, everything is different. But while I was at the university, I met 2 very interesting teachers. They were war correspondents. And this really, I don't know, opened my eyes. They were sharing their experiences, and I said, this is what I want to be. I want to be a war correspondent. But you know, being a war correspondent is not like choosing any other work, because you're choosing a lifestyle. It's not that you can say in the morning, bye honey, I'm coming back. Maybe you don't come back. So I was thinking, yeah, okay, I can do this. This meant that I was not going to get married or have a family. I just felt it was unfair to have somebody waiting for you in this way, and I was willing to take the risk. I said, yeah, I can do this. And as I was making the registries and everything, do you know what happened? I met someone. Yeah, I met someone, and this person was studying advertisement in the same university. And he really showed me a different door. He really inspired me to something that I didn't know. I felt this is the one. And it was very clear. I said, yeah, he's the one. So by then, my exchange has finished, and I went back to Ecuador. I went to the University of San Francisco. And you know what? This is a very special university, because what it does is that it combines the knowledge. So let's say, for example, you're studying to be a doctor. You also have to study administration, because maybe you will end up administrating a hospital. So you should know about that. If you were studying agriculture, they will give you business administration. So after you grow the things, you know how to sell them. You know, this is very important, to have a perspective of doing something more than the thing that you do. I remember the director of the university told us, you cannot call yourself successful unless you're making a difference in your company and for your country and for the people around you. And that stuck in my mind. And to make this happen, he was telling you that in order to graduate, you had to do 2 internships. 1, something in your career, and 2, a social internship. So they gave you a list so that you couldn't go and make the internship in your mom's NGO. They gave you a list, and from that list, I chose the women's jail. I went to work in the women's jail, and I was thinking what I can do with them and so on. But when I entered the jail, I discovered something that I didn't know. There were many children living in jail with their moms. And you know, to be in front of a kid that you know that has no future is something very strong. I knew that 8 of 10 children either will finish dead or in jail themselves. This made me realize that what I wanted to do with communication was something bigger. I wanted to make a difference. And my former editor in the newspaper has been nominated a ministry in the government. He called me to work with him, and I started working for United Nations Development Program. I was doing that, and remember the guy? Well, he eat canned food for 3 months to buy me this ring. Yeah. He went to buy the ring, and then he went to buy 90 cans of food. That was his food for 90 days. So of course I had to say yes, and we got married. And again, I started feeling, I need something more, and I said to him, how about if we go to your country? Let's go to Sweden, just across the Atlantic. I was coming from a country with no season, so I had no idea of winter, spring, anything. And there I am, in Stockholm, very beautiful place. And I had to learn many things. You know, when you move to a new country, you have to even learn how to walk. I didn't know how to walk in the ice. And at work, there were many things that I didn't know. For example, in Sweden at work, the coffee time, there's a time. You have the coffee time from 10:15 to 10:35. This is when you drink your coffee, this is when you talk with your colleagues. It took me a while to understand that. And everything has a time and a place. So I was there, I was working. I was not able to find the job in my field, but anyhow, I decided to start my own project, and I started a radio program for the Spanish-speaking community there. And I was very happy with that. But at some point, I was doing my master's degrees, and I get the chance to come to Romania to make a short research. And I did it. It was just for 2 weeks. Back to Sweden, I said, I need something else. So after 5 long winters and dark winters. So I called my husband and I invited him for a lunch. And in that lunch, I was going to tell him that I was going back to Ecuador. This was non-negotiable. I'm Colombian. I was going to inform him, you know. If you want, you can follow me, but I already got my ticket. But before I got the time to tell him something, he told me he had been offered a job. And he wanted to know my opinion. And I say, okay, where? In the Emirates. So I say, yes, let's go. We moved to the Emirates. And there, in the Emirates, I have to yet learn again about languages and many things. And most of all, I remember a friend called me and said, you know, there's a job at a university. I don't know if you want to take it. And I said, yeah, but how come you're calling me? Well, not many people want to do it. Why? Well, because you have to cover. And I say, you know what? I'll do it. I show up, I have my interview, and then the third day I was doing my classes. And you know what? It was very nice, because I was able to learn and to meet a reality that otherwise I wouldn't have met. It was very nice and rewarding. But again, after 3 years, I started feeling I need something else. And I have been recruited by a global company to work as an intercultural trainer. They wanted me to explain foreigners how to understand other mindsets, how to understand how to work with teams from other cultures, and I had to start going to Turkey. My husband, coincidentally, got an offer, and he told me, you know what, how about if we go to Turkey? So we moved to Istanbul. I had a very nice time there. By then I had my second child. And after 6 months later, because he had a short contract, he told me, we started thinking, so now what shall we do? And he said, well, you know, somebody called me and I got a job offer. But not many people want to go there. I said, okay, where? Russia. I said, okay, let's go. By now, I'm pregnant with my third kid, 4 months, and I say, yeah, let's do it. Давай. So we went to Moscow, and it was a very nice experience. I had my third kid there. I was also able to work with many people, and we were able to save money. And I thought, I know, we are going to buy a house in Spain. So that will be our base, and we will have our staff there. And we start saving the money, and we had the money. But you know what? The working hours were crazy. My husband was leaving at 9 o'clock, and he was coming the earliest at 10 in the evening. If I was going out to buy something, my kids didn't want to stay with him. They didn't know him. Who's this guy? So I started thinking, and I said, what's the point of having a house in Spain if I don't have a husband? He came to me and he told me he had been offered a promotion. And then I said, no. You're not allowed to work for a year. We are going to take a sabbatic year. We are going to use the money from the house to live 1 year without working. I'm informing you. And by the way, you cannot just do anything, so there is a master's degree in Berlin, and you're going to study that. So we moved to Berlin. We moved to Berlin with our 3 kids. We spent there 1 year. That was the master program. And when we were there, you know, the end of the master program was coming, and to tell you the truth, we almost killed each other that year. I was not used to having at home telling me what to cook, what to do, when to do it. But we survived. We're still married. The end of come, and we couldn't agree where to go. What shall we do? Shall we go back to Sweden? Shall we go back to Ecuador? I want to stay in Germany. I don't want to. And I say, okay, listen, it's the summer. Let's take a break. Let's enjoy the summer, and we will see what happens. So I come up with an idea. I say, how about if we all go to Romania? Yeah, for the summer. And I said to him, you know, I like difficult things. I said, and we will make it by train. Yeah. So we came all the way from Berlin to Bucharest by train with the 3 kids and the bags and my mom and the food. And as we were coming into Romania, I saw the sunflowers again. And I felt something. We came all the way to Bucharest, and you know, we started feeling something. I was going out and I was seeing families eating together in restaurants, teenagers with their families. I was talking to friends, 20-something years old, and they were telling me, oh, I'm going to my parents' house in the weekend. You know, this doesn't happen everywhere in the world. This is something unique. And you know, simple things, fresh food, slowly cooked. This was very nice things that we haven't experienced in a while. So somehow, my husband was offered a job, and I was offered to join the team of CityCompass. CityCompass is a company that works with expats. We do trainings for them to understand how to work and interact and have a more effective life here in Romania. And I know you're thinking, this lady is crazy. She doesn't know what we know about Romania. I do know. I'm Colombian, I'm not silly. But you know what? This is what I choose to see. This is what makes me vibrate. This is what I really like. So don't be afraid if you are somewhere else than you thought you were going to be. Don't be afraid to open a door where you don't know what's behind. But most of all, remember to make a difference wherever you are today. Thank you for your time. Vă mulțumesc mult. I know, I remember, true. Like 5 days ago, I was in the kitchen, I was thinking, and I said to my husband, where shall, and my daughter say, shut up, we're not going nowhere, we feel at home here. It's true.
Congratulations, Ximena, for this great speech. I hope I speak in the name of the entire audience. So, you have 3 kids now. When is the next one?
No, we closed the factory, yeah.
No more, because as I've seen, whenever a kid comes up, another country comes up. It's kind of a pattern, so staying here.
No.
And one thing, while we were working on the presentation and doing all this, you were telling me, Dan, I don't have any pictures saved anywhere. To make this presentation, I called all my friends all around the world to send me pictures because I don't have anything.
Yeah.
How is that feeling to maybe depend on others that are all over the world and not have any memory saved on your computer, like pictures and from all over the world?
Yeah, I didn't realize until this happened, and I realized also that I'm doing so many things, trying to learn the language and this, I don't have time to take pictures. But most of all, I realized that I have a lot of memories in my head, and this is the pictures that I treasure, and the people, all the beautiful people that I met everywhere.
Thank you so much for informing us. Ximena Reyes.